The sky turned black at noon. It started like a strange solar eclipse. People gathered outside, looking up, confused and excited. Children pointed at the sky. Phones came out. News reporters said it was a rare cosmic event. But it wasn't. There was no warning, no message, no sound, just silence. In Tokyo, a little girl named Mina stood by the window of her apartment. She loved watching the moon, but today it looked wrong. It was red, blood red, and behind it, something was moving. Far above Earth, hundreds of black ships floated silently in orbit. They didn't blink. They didn't glow. They didn't make a sound. They just watched. Chapter 1. The static begins across the world. Power grids began to fail. First, small towns, then cities, then entire nations. Satellites went dark. Internet vanished. Cell phones showed nothing but static. In Washington, D.C., President Arden Cole was pulled from a security meeting and rushed to an underground bunker. "What's happening?" he asked. "We've lost all contact with the ISS, the GPS network, and 14 of our satellites," said General Ruiz. "And the rest?" "Blind, jammed, like someone is blocking every signal at once." "Is this war?" "No," Ruiz said quietly. "This is extermination." Chapter 2. Cities of Silence in Paris. The Eiffel Tower flickered and went dark. In Cairo, pyramids were cast in total shadow. In Rio, people danced just moments before the lights cut off. Then the screams began. People around the world looked up at the ships. They didn't move. They didn't shoot. They just waited. Then the whispering started. Chapter 3. Whisper in the wires in London, inside an underground cyber defense unit. A young hacker named Liam stared at his monitor. The static on his screen shifted. Letters formed, slowly, painfully, like something was learning to speak. "We are the silence." He froze. More words followed. "Your world is obsolete. Evolution requires deletion." And then, a final message. "Prepare." His computer exploded in sparks. Smoke filled the room. But Liam had already sent a warning to the last secure channel on Earth, one no one even remembered existed. Chapter 4. Under the ice far below. Antarctica, deeper than any drilling station. There was a secret facility called Project Black Dawn. No one above the ice knew it existed. It was built during the Cold War, hidden from all sides. And deep inside it slept something older than war, a ship. The last defense of Earth, the Black Armada. A woman in a white coat, Dr. Annika Voss, stared at the blinking screen. A message had arrived. The silence has come. She turned to a massive glass chamber. Inside floated a young woman in cryosleep. Her name tag read, Alara Voss, her daughter. "Wake her," Annika whispered. "It's time." Chapter 5. Awakening. Alara's eyes opened slowly. Cold air rushed into her lungs. She gasped and sat up in the cryopod, confused and shivering. Her body ached. Her mind was foggy, but her instincts were sharp. She remembered the simulations, the training, the emergency codes. She remembered the word, silence. A soldier stepped forward. "Commander Ilara Voss, you've been activated." Ilara looked at him. Her voice was dry. "How long have I been asleep?" 17 years, ma'am." Ilara's hands shook. "Is the Armada ready?" "Mostly. One ship is still offline." Ilara stood up. Her breath steamed in the cold air. "Then we fly with what we have." Chapter 6. The black ships move above Earth. The alien ships finally began to move. They weren't ships, really. They were machines. Smooth, black, silent, like giant insects made of glass and bone. They moved slowly, spreading across the globe. One hovered above New York, another above Delhi. One drifted over Nairobi. Each ship opened a large circular hatch. People below stared up, confused. Then the sound came. A deep, humming tone, not loud, but felt, like it shook the bones inside you. Then came the light, blinding, white, clean, and then, nothing. Whole blocks turned to ash. No fire, no explosion, just gone. Chapter 7. Alara takes command. Alara stood inside the command deck of the Black Vortex, the lead ship of the Black Armada. The deck was circular, smooth black walls, no buttons, no controls, just neural links. She placed her hands on the interface. Her eyes turned white. "Link complete," said the ship's AI. "Hello, Alara." "I need status," she said. "2 ships ready, 1 still dormant. Launch the ready ones." "Destination?" Alara looked up at the main screen. It showed a live feed of Earth and the hundreds of enemy ships surrounding it. Target, orbit. Let's remind them Earth doesn't go quietly. Chapter 8. Humanity Strikes Back. The launch was silent. The 2 ships of the Black Armada rose from Antarctica like shadows. Each ship was shaped like a spear, long, sharp, blacker than space. As they reached the upper atmosphere, the alien ships turned to face them, and for the first time, they reacted. The silence broke. Alien ships charged. Beams of energy lit up the sky. But the Black Armada was fast, faster than anything Earth had ever built. One alien ship was hit and split. In half, it didn't explode. It simply froze, like time had stopped for it. Another was torn in two by a sonic blast. Alara smiled for the first time in hours. "They can bleed," she said. Chapter 9. Cost of War. Victory didn't last. The 3rd alien ship released something new: drones. Thousands of small, fast, insect-like machines flooded the sky. One Black Armada ship was swarmed, torn apart mid-air. Alara screamed. Her comrade, Captain Haru, was on that ship. But she didn't cry. She didn't stop. She turned the Black Vortex toward the source, a command ship in high orbit. She charged straight at it. "Are you sure, Commander?" The AI asked. "We either break them now, or we lose everything." The ship accelerated. Chapter 10. The Piercing. As the Black Vortex approached, the alien command ship released a wall of drones. Too many. Alara leaned forward. "Divert power from life support. Focus all energy into the forward lance." The AI hesitated. "That could kill you. I was born for this." The ship's nose began to glow, white-hot. A massive energy spike formed, shaped like a spear. Then, the Black Vortex pierced through the drone wall. Half the ship tore apart from damage, but it kept flying. And in the last second, it drove straight through the alien command ship, clean through. Chapter 11. The silence breaks. The alien ships around Earth paused. Then one by one, they shut down. Not destroyed, not fleeing, just turned off. Like puppets with their strings cut. The Black Armada's remaining systems flickered. Alara's body collapsed from the neural stress. Inside the wrecked command deck, alarms blinked red. But Earth was still standing. Some cities lost, millions gone, but the planet lived. Epilogue. The message 2 days later, in a hidden broadcast, President Cole spoke to the survivors. "This was not an invasion," he said. "This was a test, a cleansing. But humanity doesn't give up. We fight, we rise, we survive." Somewhere deep underground, in a sealed medical bay, Alara slept in recovery. Beside her, a metal cube pulsed with light, something recovered from the alien ship. A signal repeated again and again in a strange language. Then it translated into English. "You were not the target. The Star Eaters are coming." Prologue. Breathing again inside a dark recovery chamber beneath Antarctica, Alara Voss opened her eyes slowly. Her breath came in short gasps. Machines beeped around her. Her body was weak, shaking, covered in bruises and burns. She remembered the piercing. The black vortex crashing through the alien command ship. Then, darkness. Now she was alive. Somehow. Familiar voice spoke beside her. Double quotes. ELAR. You did it. She turned her head. Her mother, Dr. Annika Voss, sat by the bed. You saved Earth. Ilara tried to speak, but her throat was dry. Not yet, she finally whispered. The silence wasn't the real enemy. Annika's face turned pale. You saw it too? Ilara nodded. The signal. The warning. Something else is coming. Chapter 1. The Cracked Earth. 3 weeks later. Earth was quiet, too quiet. The alien ships remained in orbit, lifeless. They didn't fall. They just floated like tombstones in space. On the ground, millions were dead. Cities in ruins. Governments in chaos. But there was hope. The world had seen the Black Armada. And one ship had survived, barely. Deep inside Project Black Dawn. Engineers worked day and night to repair the black vortex. It had become a symbol. A dark spear of survival. Elira, now recovered, stood on the deck again. Her body still hurt. Her mind burned with images of the enemy, and something beyond. She knew this wasn't over. Chapter 2. The Ghost Ship. Signal arrived from the edge of the solar system. It wasn't human. It wasn't alien. It was ours. NASA confirmed it. A deep space ship, thought lost 22 years ago, had suddenly come back online. Its name was ESS, Valiant, Earth's first deep explorer. It was supposed to go beyond Pluto, but now it was heading back. Alone, Ilara and a small crew boarded a scout ship and went to intercept. As they approached, they saw the Valiant drifting. No lights, no power, no signs of life, yet the signal repeated. I see the flame, I see the flame, I see the flame. Chapter 3. Inside the Valiant, the docking tunnel hissed as it connected. Ilara led her team inside. The halls were dark, silent, covered in ice. The air was cold and dry. No bodies, no blood, no signs of a fight. But then they reached the bridge. A single crew member sat in the captain's chair. He was alive. Barely. Eyes open. Skin pale, tubes in his arms. Machines keeping him alive. His ID tag. Captain Jace Rowan. He looked at Ilara and smiled weakly. You came back. We thought no one would. Ilara knelt beside him. What happened here? He whispered. We went too far. We touched the fire. What fire? He coughed. The first flame, the thing that wakes them. Chapter 4. The first flame back on Earth. Captain Rowan was stabilized and taken into care. Before falling unconscious, he gave them a storage device, ancient looking, but still active. It contained a video log. They watched it. On the screen, the Valiant's crew explored a strange structure beyond the edge of the solar system. A massive floating ruin shaped like a spiral. It wasn't made by humans. Or the silence. It pulsed with red light. As they touched it, the screen blurred, static, screaming, lights flickering, then a final image, a sky filled with black stars, stars that moved. The recording ended with Captain Rowan screaming. We woke them. Chapter 5. Ilara's doubt. Alone in her quarters, Ilara stared at the stars. She remembered something from childhood, a story her mother told her about black suns. Old myths. Creatures that ate stars and whispered madness, she thought. They were just stories, but now, maybe not. She asked the Black Vortex AI to run a scan of deep space, looking for changes in the cosmic background. The results came back cold. Something massive was moving toward the solar system, slowly. But surely. It wasn't a planet. It wasn't a ship. It was alive. Chapter 6. The new team. The Black Vortex needed new crew. The old ones were either dead or in recovery. Dr. Annika Voss handpicked 4 new members. Rico Navarro, ex-fighter pilot from Brazil. Hot-headed, loyal, fearless. Isha Malhotra, engineer from India. brilliant with machines, speaks 5 languages. Theo Kazan, ex-hacker from Greece, recruited from a prison. Cold, smart, quiet. Suri, not human. A synthetic AI in human form. Created in secret by Project Black Dawn. Alara met them all in the briefing room. "We're not just fixing the ship," she told them. "We're going to find out what the silence was running from," Rico smirked. "So we're chasing ghosts?" "No," Ilara said. "We're chasing fire." Chapter 7. The Forgotten Message. While inspecting the alien cube recovered from the last battle, Theo found something strange. Inside the device was a locked memory layer, encrypted in thousands of languages. Suri helped decode it. What they found was a map, a galactic route, marked with destroyed civilizations, and at the center, a blinking red dot labeled in one word: Origin. Beside it was a voice message, deep and strange. A language no one understood until Suri translated it. The voice said, "We burned the first star. The others followed. Now only the final flame remains." Chapter 8. Fire in the sky. Suddenly, all around Earth, the lifeless alien ships reactivated, but only for a moment. They turned their antennas to the sky and beamed one final signal outward, toward deep space. Then they burned from the inside, collapsing in on themselves like dying suns. One word repeated in the black vortex's system: "They heard us." Ilara stood frozen. Theo looked at her. "What does that mean?" She whispered, "It means we lit the fire. Now they're coming." Chapter 9. To the stars again. There was no more time. The black vortex, half repaired, launched again with its new crew, new purpose, and a single mission: find the origin. Stop the Star Eaters before they reach Earth. As the ship left Earth's orbit, millions watched from screens, rooftops, and bunkers. Hope flickered again, dark and sharp as a blade. Inside the ship, Rico looked out the window. "So, how do you fight something that eats stars?" Alara replied without turning her head. "We show them what happens when humanity burns back." Epilogue. Somewhere in deep space, in the cold dark between galaxies, a shape moved. Not a ship. Not a creature. A shadow bigger than planets, with thousands of red eyes. It floated quietly, as if asleep. Then. One eye opened. It saw the signal. It saw the flame. And for the first time in millions of years, it began to move. Prologue. The long silent space was quiet. Too quiet. The black vortex had been traveling for 11 days since leaving Earth. It moved like a silent spear through the dark. No stars here blinked. No planets turned. Just a long path of empty black. Alara Voss sat in the command seat, eyes half closed. The quiet was not peace. It was a warning. Something was watching. And something was waiting. Chapter 1. Signals from Eden. Theo sat in the data chamber, sifting through the alien map they found in the cube. One planet caught his attention, marked only as Eden 12. It wasn't Earth, but it used to be. An old colony attempt by humans, long abandoned after it went dark. No contact, no recovery. Just silence. Now a faint signal was coming from Eden 12 again, weak, broken, but human. Suri confirmed. Message contains Earth Defense Command protocols. Origin, surface bunker. Ilara leaned forward. Set course. Rico raised an eyebrow. "You think someone's still alive down there?" Ilara replied, "If they are, we need them. If they're not, something wants us to come." Chapter 2. Planetfall. 12 was red and cold. A desert world with black mountains and dust-filled skies. The team landed near an old military outpost. Most of it was buried in sand and rubble. But a door still blinked with power. As they stepped outside, the air was thin. Wind screamed across the rocks. No birds, no trees, no life. Only footprints. Not human. Suri scanned the prints. 6-legged, clawed, insectoid design, recent. Theo muttered, "Whatever lives here now didn't evolve here." Chapter 3. The bunker below. Inside the bunker, it was even worse. Blood on the walls, scratches in metal. Something had torn through the steel doors like paper. They found the signal source in the main room, a dying AI, flickering and broken. Its voice stuttered. Eden, lost, the flame, woke them. Theo plugged in a decoder. The AI showed a final log, a recording of soldiers running, shooting at something off-screen, shadows with glowing eyes. Then, darkness. Just before the footage ended, a symbol flashed across the screen, a spiral of flame inside a triangle of stars. Suri spoke softly. "This is the mark of the Star Eaters." Chapter 4. The sky burned suddenly, the ground shook. Alarms screamed. Outside, the sky changed color, from red to burning orange. Rico yelled from the lookout tower. "Ilara, we've got incoming." A massive shadow crossed the sun. A drone ship, not from the silence, but something older. It looked alive. Its hull pulsed like muscle. It dropped black pods onto the surface. The pods opened. Creatures spilled out. Tall, bone-thin things with claws and red burning eyes. They screamed without sound. "They're not attacking the base," Ilara realized. "They're looking for something." Suri whispered, "They're hunting the first flame." Chapter 5. The chamber beneath. Theo found a sealed door in the lower levels. Behind it, a strange room, circular, covered in symbols. In the center, a small glowing object, floating, silent, burning. The first flame. Ilara stared at it. It wasn't fire. It wasn't energy. It was memory. The flame showed them flashes, galaxies being born and destroyed. Civilizations burned, stars dying, and always the same shadow following after. The Star Eaters. "They've been here before," Ilara whispered. "Maybe millions of years ago. We just woke them up again." Suri touched the flame. For a second, her eyes went fully white. "I know what it is now," she said. "It's not a weapon, it's a key." Chapter 6. Escape from Eden. Outside, the creatures closed in. Rico and Isha were holding them off with sonic rifles, but there were too many. Ilara ran to the comms. "Prep emergency liftoff, now." They secured the first flame inside a shielded capsule. As the team sprinted back to the ship, the creatures chased them, fast, crawling over walls, jumping through smoke. One of them leapt at Theo. Rico shot at midair. "Keep moving." The black vortex launched just as the surface erupted. The drone ship exploded from inside, releasing a pulse of red light. As they flew away, Eden 12 started to collapse. The ground cracked. The sky burned. Rico said what everyone felt. "Whatever we just took. They want it back." Chapter 7. Message from the dark. Back in orbit, the team recovered in silence. Then the signal came, a voice, deep, mechanical, ancient. It played through every system on the black vortex. "You have taken the spark of creation. Return it, or be unmade." The message came with coordinates. Elara stared at the star map. "It's not a threat, it's an invitation," Theo said. "To where?" Suri answered, "To meet them." Chapter 8. Firestorm in orbit. They didn't get a choice. Within hours, 3 eater ships entered the system. They looked like floating skeletons, each 1 mile long, with rings of orbiting debris. They began to terraform Eden 12's ashes into black dust, rebuilding it into a hive. One ship turned toward the black vortex. It fired a beam, slower than light, but heavy with gravity and heat. Ilara ordered full shields. The ship shook violently. Systems failed. Isha screamed from engineering, shield cores melting. "We can't take another hit." Ilara made a choice. "Send them a message." Suri turned. "What kind of message?" Ilara's eyes burned. "We're not prey." Chapter 9. Burn back. They launched a counterstrike. Theo overloaded the signal tower. turning it into a pulse cannon. Rico flew the ship through the rings of the enemy. Isha rerouted every power cell into the forward rail. Suri activated the first flame core, just a fraction of its energy. The black vortex fired. The beam cut through space like a burning arrow. Straight into the eater ship's eye. It didn't explode. It screamed. The sound traveled through space, across all channels. Every star nearby dimmed for 3 seconds. The eater ship curled into itself and died. Silence followed. Then the other 2 ships retreated. Chapter 10. The choice ahead. Back aboard. The crew was exhausted. Theo had burns on his arms. Rico had 2 broken ribs. Ilara had blood in her mouth from the stress link. Suri stood still, watching the flame pulse slowly. "This changes everything," Isha said. Ilara nodded. "We hurt them. They can die." Suri turned. "But it won't. Stop them. That was only a scout. The real ones are still coming." Ilara sat down. "We need allies. We need weapons. We need to go further." Suri walked to the map. "There's a place," she said. "A graveyard. The ruins of the First War. It might hold what we need." Ilara gave the order. "Set course for the ashes of the First Empire." Epilogue. The Watchers wake far beyond the edge of known space. In a hollow moon orbiting a dead star, something moved. 10 beings stood in a circle, cloaked in shadow and armor made of collapsed light. One spoke. "The humans have lit the flame." "Again," another replied. "Then the war is coming again." A third voice whispered, "This time, let's not watch. Let's fight." They stepped into the light and vanished. Prologue. Ghosts of the past. The black vortex sailed through space. Guided by a star map burned into the first flame. The crew had no idea what awaited them. The ruins of the First Empire. A place where legends said even stars had died. Ilara stood on the bridge, watching the starfield. The silence was heavy, not the quiet of peace, but the quiet of things forgotten. Some things are better left buried. Chapter 1. Arrival at the graveyard. The black vortex slowed as it entered a star system darkened by a cloud of space dust and debris. The ship's sensors showed a planet broken into pieces, a shattered world floating like a graveyard. The crew gathered in the observation deck. Ilara pointed. "This is where it all began." Theo scanned the ruins. The First Empire was here, wiped out by the Star Eaters millions of years ago. Isha added, "Look at the technology scattered here. It's beyond anything humans have ever built." Suddenly, the ship shook. Warning lights flashed. A ghost ship, an ancient war vessel, broken but still alive, drifted out from the debris. Chapter 2. The Ancient. Warning. The ghost ship's AI activated. Its voice was cold and mechanical. "Warning. The Star Eaters will return. All life must prepare." It showed images, galaxies on fire, planets shattered, civilizations crushed. Then it paused on a message. "Seek the Ashen Forge. It is the last weapon." Ilara's eyes narrowed. "A weapon? We need that." Chapter 3. The Lost Colony. The black vortex traced the forge's location, deep inside a ruined planet, buried beneath ash and metal. They landed cautiously. The planet's surface was a wasteland. Rivers of molten rock and skies filled with smoke. The crew entered the ruins. Inside, they found signs of a lost civilization, machines long dead, walls covered in strange symbols, and a deep sense of danger. Suddenly, alarms blared. Chapter 4. The trap. The crew was caught in a trap. Walls shifted. Floors dropped. Mechanical claws reached from the darkness. Rico and Isha fought back to back, shooting down the traps. Ilara and Theo raced to the control center. They hacked the ancient systems, trying to unlock the way forward. Time was running out. Chapter 5. The Ashen Forge. At last, they reached the Ashen Forge, a massive structure glowing with energy. It was a factory, but not for machines, for weapons of unimaginable power. Ilara touched the control panel. visions flashed before her eyes, a war between light and dark. Star systems caught in fire, and the Star Eaters consuming all. She realized the forge was alive, a memory, a weapon, and a warning. Chapter 6. The Choice. The forge offered a choice, power to destroy the Star Eaters, but at a cost. Ilara hesitated. Could they use such a weapon without becoming like the enemy? Chapter 7. The enemy returned suddenly. The ground shook. Outside, Star Eater ships appeared, drawn by the forge's power. The Black Vortex. Crew prepared for battle. Chapter 8. Battle for the Ashes. Space erupted in fire and metal. Rico piloted the Kalen Black Vortex through enemy fire. Theo hacked the enemy systems. Isha managed the shields. Ilara led the fight. Chapter 9. Sacrifice. The battle was fierce. The crew lost friends, but they held the forge. Chapter 10. New hope. With the forge's power, they launched a new weapon. The Star Eaters fled. Ilara looked to the stars. The war had only just begun. Prologue. The signal that shouldn't exist. 5 days had passed since the battle at the Ashen Forge. The Black Vortex was cruising quietly through deep space. The crew was resting, repairing systems, and trying to understand the powerful tech they had found. Then, a signal appeared. Weak, glitched, old, but human. Isha's voice cracked over the com. It's a distress call from Earth Defense, but it's dated 700 years ago. Theo looked up from his console. That's impossible. Earth didn't have deep space tech 700 years ago. Ilara stared at the signal. It kept repeating. They're not gods. They bleed. If you hear this... Fight. Chapter 1. The Forgotten Ship. They followed the signal. It led them to a grave in space. An old rusted ship floating between two dead stars. Its name barely showed on the side. EDC Valiant Dawn, a lost warship from a time no one remembered. Rico flew the Black Vortex close. That thing shouldn't exist. It's running on no fuel, no power, just drifting. Ilara nodded. We dock, we explore. We find out who sent that message. Chapter 2. The dead crew that talks. The air inside was stale and cold. Lights flickered. The walls were scorched with burns and strange symbols. They found bodies, dozens of Earth soldiers, still in armor, untouched by time, but no decay. Suri whispered, "They're preserved, like the forge kept them." Theo accessed the ship's memory core. Suddenly the system lit up, and so did the dead. One soldier's eyes blinked open. No heartbeat, no breath, but he spoke. "I remember the war. I remember the flame." The crew stepped back. Ilara kept calm. "What war?" the soldier answered. "The first one. The one you're repeating." Chapter 3. The Spiral Memory. The preserved soldiers weren't alive, but their minds were. The forge had saved pieces of them, stored inside energy crystals. Ghosts stuck in looped memory. Suri connected one crystal to the ship's holomap. A full vision appeared. Cities in the sky. Great starships burning. The first human rebellion against the Star-Eaters. Theo whispered, "We fought them before." Ilara nodded. "And lost." But the last image was different. A planet with a massive scar across its surface, shaped like the spiral flame. Ilara pointed. "What planet is that?" The ghost soldier answered, "It's where we made our final stand. Where we buried the weapon that could end them." Chapter 4. The Scar World. They traveled to the planet in the vision. Its name had long been erased from records. A lifeless desert. No plants, no animals. Just dust, wind, and ruins shaped like massive bones. But under the dust was a gate. A strange doorway made of black stone and blue energy, half buried. Rico scanned it. "It's not responding." Suri held up the flame core from Eden 12. It pulsed. As she walked closer, the gate began to sing. Not music, not sound, A memory. Chapter 5. The temple below the gate opened into a deep underground temple. The walls were lined with carvings, not of gods, but of humans fighting monsters. Theo, read the carvings slowly. They weren't just soldiers, they were builders. Architects of the forge, the first flame bearers. At the center of the temple, a throne sat empty. Around it, weapons, tools, armor. And bones. Lots of bones. Rico stepped back. This was a final stand. They died defending something. Alara moved to the throne. A message burned into the seat. The flame must choose its bearer. Chapter 6. The flame chooses. Suri touched the throne. The flame core pulsed, brighter than ever. A circle of energy surrounded her. Symbols floated in the air. Her eyes turned. Pure white. She floated for a moment, then landed gently. The flame had fused with her. Suri opened her eyes. I can see everything now, Theo asked. What did it show you? She looked around the group. The truth. The Star Eaters weren't always monsters. They were once protectors. Everyone froze. Isha asked, what happened to them? Suri's voice was soft. They were corrupted by something older. Chapter 7. The deep core. The temple walls cracked. Something below started to wake up. The team rushed down deeper tunnels. They found a sealed vault, round, glowing with blue symbols. Inside, a machine the size of a building. A deep core. Theo, read the data from its walls. It's a seed for a weapon that never finished growing. Ilara said, then we finish it. They powered it up using the flame. The machine began to form, building a new kind of armor, a weapon built to burn through Star Eater's skin. But the energy spike triggered something. Chapter 8. Visitors from the Black Shadow fell over the planet. In orbit, 3 new ships, smaller, sleeker, blacker than the void. Not Star Eaters. Not human. Something else. Rico whispered. What are those? Suri closed her eyes. Watchers. Theo asked, friendly. She shook her head slowly. They only help when they think you're strong enough. Or dead. Chapter 9. The trial. One of the ships landed outside the temple. A being stepped out, tall, thin, silver-skinned, eyes like mirrors. It didn't speak. Instead, it raised one hand and created a weapon, shaped like light and fire, then pointed at Alara. A test. The group watched as Alara stepped forward. She didn't use a gun. She used her hands and her mind. She fought fast, clever, without fear. She didn't win, but she didn't die. The being nodded once. Then it said, you are not ready to win, but you are ready to try. It vanished, and the 3 ships left. Chapter 10. Warpath. The deep core finished forming. The team now had a prototype, armor that could resist Star Eater energy, and a weapon powered by the flame itself. The black vortex was upgraded. The crew was changed. Suri, now bonded to the flame, could feel where the Star Eaters were moving. Theo had learned their patterns. Isha had unlocked deeper energy routing. Rico upgraded the ship's thrusters and guns. Ilara sat in the captain's seat, watching the new star map. We have power now, but not time. Suri pointed at a red cluster on the map. They're building a breach, a tear into real space. Theo, read the data. If they finish it, Earth won't survive. Alara gave the order. Then we take the fight to them. Epilogue. The Eaters speak far beyond the edge of known stars. In a dark cluster of twisted space, the true Star Eaters waited. One of them, vast, made of fire and bone, turned to the others. It spoke in a voice that bent space. The flame has chosen again, another answered. Then the second war begins. Prologue. The tear in the stars. The black vortex floated near the edge of known space. Beyond them, a strange sky. Opened, not black, not light. Something else. The breach was real now. A glowing wound in space. Energy storms around it. Gravity bent like liquid. And behind it, The Star Eaters were gathering. Suri stood at the window, eyes glowing faintly from the flame inside her. They're not just preparing to attack. She looked at Alara. They're trying to pull Earth into their world. Chapter 1. The Council's Refusal Before Entering the Breach. The crew needed allies. They returned to Earth's secret orbital base, Helix Spire. The Earth Defense Council listened to the report. Their faces showed fear, but also doubt. "This flame you speak of is not confirmed technology," one general said. "Sending ships through a tier in space could destroy everything," said another. Ilara stood up straight. Nothing will destroy everything," but they refused. "We will defend Earth from here." Rico muttered as they left. "Idiots sitting in chairs won't save anyone." Chapter 2. Volunteers. They didn't need the council. They needed courage. From the Black Vortex's signal, small groups of fighters, rogue engineers, and old space veterans responded. A fleet of 12 ships gathered, old models, patched with alien tech, barely holding together. But they came. Ilara stood on the Vortex's bridge and looked at the new allies. "It's not a war fleet," she smiled, "but it's enough to punch a hole." Chapter 3. Entering the breach. Crossing the breach was like falling into a dream or a nightmare. The ship stretched, twisted, and snapped back into place. Time moved strangely. Some clocks froze. Others jumped ahead hours. Suri held her head. "This space doesn't follow rules, it follows memory." Theo typed fast. "We're in their realm, their hunting ground." The sky was not space, but layers of broken worlds stitched together. Fragments of dead planets floated like islands. And in the distance, a black spire reaching into a glowing core. The heart of the breach. That was their target. Chapter 4. The first encounter. As they moved closer to the heart, something found them. A ship unlike any before, alive, breathing, with wings like shadow. It screamed across the fleet, crashing into one of the smaller ships. "They're testing us," Suri said. "Playing." The fleet fought back. Missiles, energy beams, and kinetic blasts fired into the void. But the creature ship split into 3, smaller, faster, deadlier. Ilara gave the order. "Pull them toward the storm tunnel." Using the gravity field from the storm nearby, Rico lured one enemy into it. The storm swallowed it whole. The other 2 were destroyed with combined fire. Theo sighed. That was just one of them. Chapter 5. Inside the Forgotten Moon. To hide and repair, they landed on a broken moon nearby. The surface was cracked and floating in pieces. Inside the moon, they found tunnels and life, but not friendly. Strange spider-like machines crawled the walls, guarding ancient alien texts and black crystals. Suri picked up one of the crystals. The flame inside her reacted, and she saw images. A civilization that once lived here, not human. But not Star Eaters either. They too had fought the same enemy. And lost. She turned to Alara. "We're not the first to resist them, but maybe we'll be the first to win." Chapter 6. The Ghost Core. One of the fleet's ships, the Javelin Dancer, found a signal inside the moon. They traced it to a Ghost Core, a device that allowed travel not just through space, but across possibility. Theo stared at the data. "This could send one of us deep into the heart, without them noticing. A stealth entry, but the core could only take one person." Alara stepped forward. "I'll go." Rico grabbed her shoulder. "You're the captain." Suri stepped in. "No, I'm the one they fear. The flame walks with me." The team was silent. Then Alara nodded. "Then you're not going alone." Chapter 7. Heart of the breach. With the Ghost Core's help, Suri and Theo entered the heart, a twisted world where gravity pulled in all directions. At the center was a living machine, pulsing with black light, guarded by Star Eater drones. And at its heart, a core linked to Earth. If it reached full power, it would merge Earth with the breach. They had minutes. Theo began to hack the link. Suri fought off attackers using the Flame, blasting fire in waves. Holding the monsters back, the Star Eaters screamed, not in pain, but rage. They knew who she was now. Chapter 8. Sacrifice above, while Suri and Theo fought inside the heart. The rest of the fleet defended from outside. More creatures poured from the breached sky, some like serpents, some like insects, others like twisted copies of human ships. The Black Vortex fought bravely. One ship, Starwind Echo, flew straight into the largest enemy to clear a path. Its pilot said only one word: "For Earth." Then silence. The enemy ship exploded. But so did Starwind Echo. Alara clenched her jaw. We win, or we die trying. Chapter 9. The Flame Unleashed Inside the Heart. Theo was almost done, but the enemy was too many. One massive creature, shaped like a burning god, struck Suri. Down, she fell to her knees. Blood from her mouth. The flame inside her pulsed. Not angry. Awake. She rose again. Eyes blazing like suns. Her voice echoed across the chamber. You will not take my world. She unleashed the full power of the first flame. Fire that wasn't fire. Light that burned through shadows. Memory that cut like a blade. The enemy screamed. They burned. The heart began to collapse. Chapter 10. Escape and Aftermath. Theo grabbed Suri. We need to go. Now, the ghost core glowed. They activated it just as the heart broke apart. From the outside, Alara and the fleet saw the spire explode. Black light turning to gold, then vanishing. The breach closed. Slowly. Painfully. But it closed. The surviving ships, only 7 now, returned through the fading path. Back to real space. Back home. Epilogue. Earth looks up. Again the Earth Council now believed. They greeted the crew with honor and thanks, but the crew did not feel like heroes. Too many had died. Too much had been lost. Suri stood under the night sky, hand resting on her chest. The flame inside her still burned. Alara walked beside her. It's over, for now. Suri shook her head slowly. It's not over. She looked at the stars. They'll come again. Stronger, smarter. The next war will be harder. Alara asked, then what do we do? Suri answered, voice steady, we build. We teach, we prepare. And in the distance, far, far beyond the edge of known stars, something watched. Something old. And very, very hungry. Prologue. No one slept after the breach closed. Earth didn't rest. Not really. And had survived. Barely. But the silence that followed wasn't peace. It was the pause before the next storm. Suri felt it in her dreams. Theo saw it in calculations. Alara knew it in her bones. The Star Eaters were coming back, and this time, they wouldn't just try to consume Earth. They would try to erase it. Chapter 1. The Message in the Flame. 2 weeks after returning, Suri collapsed. Not from pain, from information. The flame inside her had changed after the battle in the breach. It now carried whispers, maps, warnings. Showed the team a new vision. They're rebuilding in the Hollow Zone, deep space beyond the Red Nebula. They're breeding something. Bigger. Rico looked at the map. That place doesn't exist on Earth charts. Suri nodded. It does now. Alara spoke clearly. Then we go there first, before they bring the war here again. Chapter 2. Earth's divided heart, but not everyone agreed. Earth's leaders, now scared, split into 2 groups. Defenders, build shields, stay hidden, and survive. Strikers, hunt the enemy before they grow. Alara stood with the strikers. She addressed the full council. We've seen what's coming. If we wait, we lose. We need ships, fighters, scientists. Now. Some agreed. Others feared. So Earth split its strength, half to each cause. The Black Vortex would lead the strike force. With only a small group of allied ships. Rico said what they all felt. We're going in half blind, half ready. And probably half crazy. Chapter 3. Into the Hollow Zone. The journey to the Hollow Zone was slow. Time warped in that region. Some systems stopped working. Communication failed, but Suri guided them. Inside the zone, they found massive shapes drifting. Not ships. Eggs. Thousands. Floating in black fields like stars that never lit. Theo's voice cracked. They're growing a second wave. Bigger than the first. A pulse of energy came from deep inside the zone. A call. One egg hatched. A creature emerged, larger than a city. No face. Just teeth. It didn't chase them. It simply stared. Waiting. Watching. Chapter 4. Whisper of betrayal back on Earth. Trouble brewed. A top scientist, Dr. Halen Kerr, secretly sent information to the Defenders faction. He believed the strike team would fail. He believed the flame was dangerous. He created a secret backup plan. If Earth is invaded, we'll use the Black Nova system, destroy the planet to keep it from them. Suri sensed something wrong. The flame showed her fragments of Kerr's actions. Alara confronted the Council. They denied everything, but trust was breaking. Earth was becoming two sides of one dying coin. Chapter 5. The Lost Colony in the Hollow Zone. The Black Vortex discovered. A hidden signal. Old, human. They followed it. They found a colony ship from 300 years ago. Lost during early space expansion. Amazingly, it still had life inside. People living underground. Hidden from the Star Eaters. They had formed their own society, and they had fought these monsters before. Captain Lina Reese greeted Alara. We didn't die, we adapted. They shared weapons, maps, and knowledge. Lin said one thing before they left. You can't kill them all, but you can kill their queen. Chapter 6. Birth of the Queen in the heart of the Hollow Zone. They found the truth. The eggs weren't just spawning monsters. They were preparing to give birth to a queen, a hive brain, a mind that could speak, plan, and adapt. I gasped at the vision. If she rises, she'd take command of the entire swarm. Alara gave the order. We strike now. They planned a fast, deep run to the breeding core. Destroy it before the queen awakens. The queen was already dreaming. Chapter 7. Infiltration. Suri, Theo, and a small team entered the hive nest. The walls pulsed like flesh. Air thick with rotten heat. They planted bombs near the growth chambers, but the queen sensed them. A voice, smooth and terrifying, echoed in their minds. You carry fire, but fire needs air. I will take your breath. The tunnel shook. Monsters poured in. Rico radioed them. 3 minutes to detonation. You have to get out. Suri placed her hand on the ground. The flame burned bright. I'll hold them. Go. Theo pulled her. We leave together. Or not at all. They ran. Chapter 8. Fire and loss. The explosion tore through the breeding core. Eggs shattered. The half-formed queen screamed. The shockwave hit the black vortex. The ship spun, systems fried. 2 escort ships were lost instantly. But the core was gone. The queen, wounded but not dead. Back on the vortex. Suri collapsed. Her connection to the flame now dim. Too much power lost. Too much soul burned. Theo sat beside her. You saved billions, she whispered. Not yet. Chapter 9. Earth under siege. The Star Eaters responded fast. Faster than anyone expected. With the queen's wound, they turned from slow corruption to rage. A fleet of hundreds came through the edge of space, not through the breach, but through subspace tiers. Earth's orbit turned red. Cities prepared. Families hid. And Dr. Kerr? He activated the Black Nova protocol. Earth's core began to hum, ready to destroy itself if needed. Alara screamed through the council broadcast. Turn it off. We still have a chance. Kerr replied coldly. Hope is not a strategy. Chapter 10. The flame's final choice in the vortex's medbay. Suri was dying. The flame inside her flickered, but it wasn't gone. It whispered to her. One last choice. Burn herself. And light a path for all of Earth. Or live. And fight another day. Suri chose. She stood, body glowing. She sent a signal, not through tech, but through will. All across space, ships received it. A burst of courage, a pulse of memory. Humans stood taller. Ilara gave the order. All ships, fire on the lead hive ships. Break the line. The flame passed from Suri, not into one person, but into everyone who believed, and Earth fought back. Epilogue. The night isn't over. The Kofa. Star Eaters retreated. For now. Their queen, wounded, angry, slithered back into the hollow zone. Suri's body lay quiet in the flame chamber, but she breathed. Barely. Ilir walked to the bridge. Earth was still here, but not safe. Theo stood beside her. She gave everything. Ilara nodded. And we're not done. Behind them, a new message blinked on the screen. An unknown signal. Human language. Old code. It said, Phase 2 begins. Humanity is not alone. Prologue. The signal, it came from deep space. An old human code. Buried in static. A whisper in the void. This is Beacon 7. If anyone hears us. Earth is not the only one. Ilara stared at the message. Rico leaned in. Another human colony survived? Theo decoded it further. His eyes widened. It's not just survivors, it's a warning. The Star Eaters weren't born here. Everyone turned to the screen. They were made. Chapter 1. The ancient machine in the hollow zone. Buried beneath a dead moon, the black vortex found something. Impossible. A machine planet. Older than Earth. Sleeping. The message led them there. Ilara stood on the bridge. What is it? Theo answered. A creation engine. It built the first Star Eaters, a weapon system, out of control. The machine had been left alone for millions of years. Until something or someone woke it again. The Queen was only a tool. Now, the true enemy was waking up. And Earth had no more time. Chapter 2. Suri awakened. Suri's body had nearly burned away from the flame's final act. She lay in a med chamber, barely alive, but inside her the first flame stirred. It hadn't left her. It had changed. Now it wasn't just a power. It was a voice. You are the last spark, Suri, and the choice belongs to you. Her eyes opened. Weak. But burning. I'm not done yet. Chapter 3. The Queen's return while Earth rebuilt. The Queen rose again. No longer birthing monsters. Now she commanded them. Her voice echoed through the solar system. You delayed your death. I bring it now. The hollow zone split open. Wormholes appeared over Mars, Neptune, and Earth itself. The second invasion had begun. This time, Earth was ready. Chapter 4. Earth's last stand. Orbital. Shields activated. Laser towers glowed across continents. Space fleets launched. All that remained. The black vortex led the final charge. Ilara broadcast one message to the world. This is Earth's last stand. We fight not to survive, but to live free. Children, soldiers, elders, all listened, and the world lit up with courage. Chapter 5. Infiltrating the Korasuri had a plan. We destroy the ancient machine. Cut off the Queen's power source. She's connected to it. But it was deep inside the hollow planet. So Suri, Theo, Rico, and Lina Reese, from the Lost Colony, formed an infiltration team. They dropped into the broken core. Black tunnels, moving walls, AI systems older than language. Inside they found the heart engine, still alive, still building. Theo stared at the control interface. It's not just making monsters. It's rewriting DNA, learning from everything it eats. Rico growled. Then it's time to feed it something it can't chew. Chapter 6. The Queen's offer. Suddenly, a projection appeared in front of Suri. The Queen, not monstrous now, but human-shaped. She smiled. You can end this, Suri. Join me. Become the second flame. Together we light the stars. In darkness, Suri stood tall, eyes glowing. You're not a flame. You're a shadow pretending to be light. The Queen reached out. Say yes, "And I'll spare Earth," Suri whispered. "No." And she fired. The battle began. Chapter 7. Burning the Past. The team planted charges across the heart engine, but the Queen appeared in full, not a hologram, but her true form. Towering, skeletal, winds of glass and smoke. Theo was injured. Rico kept shooting. Lina Reese fell protecting the core. Detonator. Suri walked into the heart of the machine. She looked around at the ancient system. This ends now. The flame inside her, the last pure spark of the first race, ignited fully. She fused with the core, and the machine screamed. Chapter 8. Earth sees fire in the sky from Earth. People saw the sky turn white. A supernova burst from the hollow zone, All-Star Eater. Ships froze, then collapsed. The Queen tried to escape, but her power was cut. Her body shattered. Across space. The invasion ended. But so did something else. Suri's voice spoke once more, through every speaker, every flame, every heart. "You are not alone. Be better than the ones who came before." Then silence. She was gone. Chapter 9. After the fire 1 month later, Earth had scars, burned cities, lost friends, but it was alive. Theo took command of a new flame research center. Rico became commander of Earth's new border fleet. Alara stood at a memorial, carved into stone. Surivale, the last spark. Beside it, a smaller stone said, "And the first light." The stars were quiet now, but no one felt safe. And that was okay. Because now, they were watching the stars too. Epilogue. Seeds beyond far away, beyond the hollow zone. A piece of the first flame floated through space. It landed on a small planet, buried itself in soil. And waited. Not as a weapon, but as a seed. Because fire destroys, but it also begins.